Reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark.
Glory to you, O Lord.
One of the scribes came to Jesus and asked him, "Which is the first of all the commandments?" He replied, "The first is this: Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is Lord alone. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second is this: You shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater than these." The scribe replied, "Well said, teacher. You are right in saying he is one and there is no other than he. And to love with all your heart, with all your understanding, all your strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself is worth more than all burnt offerings and sacrifices." And when Jesus saw that he answered with understanding, he said to him, "You are not far from the kingdom of God." And no one dared question him further. The Gospel of the Lord. Last weekend, we witnessed another moment of horror in our history as we watched a madman walk into a synagogue in Pittsburgh and needlessly slaughter elderly people who had simply come together to pray to their God. I confess to you, I can't get my hands around these acts of violence. I just can't understand how someone can hate that much that they think they have the right to take others' lives. In 1912, Sigmund Freud said that the American psyche only has 75 years left because we can't absorb everything that's being thrown at it. And I wonder if their psyches are in fact not coming apart. But what do we do about it? People have said to me that I should have an armed guard here on weekends to make sure we're safe. But is that not meeting violence with more potential violence? I think the answer is found in today's gospel. That maybe beginning with you and me, if we could just care about one another a little bit more, be kinder to one another, more compassionate, slow down some of this rhetoric that springs up on both sides. You're a Republican, you're a Democrat. It is merely two different viewpoints of how best to govern this nation. And both of you love this nation equally, but we're not enemies. Maybe we need to pull back and ask ourselves, who are these people we classify as Muslims or immigrants or Jews? Because we're all God's creatures. Are there bad people among them? Of course. There are also bad people among us. But the majority of them are good people who care compassionately about others. And maybe we could make a difference. But you ask yourself, I'm just one little dot in the face of a billion people. How do I make a difference? That's part of the problem. If every one of us would light just one little candle in the darkness, a whole new day of peace and harmony could dawn. Is that idealistic? Is it somewhere up there in the clouds? Yes, but read the gospel. So is almost everything that Jesus Christ said. The only antidote to hatred and violence is love. Amen.